closer. There were three of us in that aircraft. You and me, and a colonel named Harrington. Ed Harrington! Ed Harrington! Why does anybody remember me? Harrington!
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Howdy folks, and welcome to the Spaghetti Theater for the Spaghetti Theater Review. I'm back with another look at an episode of the original Twilight Zone. It's such a relatable place to visit, as Crispin here agrees. Right, Crispin? Number, oh wait. 7. This is number 7. I knew that. You're naked for some reason. Why?
It's summertime and it's 90 degrees outside, you dope. Crispin's sweating his balls off.
You don't have any balls. But yeah, it is pretty warm. Anyway, this time I'm going with Season 1's And When the Sky Was Open. One of the eeriest episodes ever. In my opinion, of course. This one always stood out to me because in the end, like a lot of other episodes, you never actually get an answer as to what or why or how any of this was ever even happening. It still left a total mystery in the end for the audience member to figure out, which is sort of what makes it great too. It stars Rod Taylor, who I remember fondly from The Time Machine that I saw a bunch of times, and of course Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. And he's just great in this too, as a guy trying to prove to everyone that he's not crazy by saying the name Ed Harrington like 10,000 times.
And a colonel named Harrington.
Throughout the entire episode, since no one believes he ever even existed.
I don't know anybody named Harrington.
Only he did, damn it!
Ed Harrington! Ed Harrington! Why does anybody remember me?
So let's get to the episode. It's the Twilight Zone, everybody! And it's only Season 1, so fuck that signpost up ahead or door of imagination. They all lead to the same place anyway. You're in the Twilight Zone now, bitch! Right, Crispin?
I guess.
Ha ha ha! That's my line.
Okay, mira segura.
That's your line. So it all starts off in this hangar, with this spaceship of the future under this big tarp. Guess, as Rod Serling's voiceover fills us in on exactly what's going on. No on-screen Rod yet, since Rod needs to explain it since they also couldn't afford to film it.
Disappeared from the radar screen for 24 hours.
This spaceship was carrying 3 men. Clegg Forbes, Garth Williams, ad agency exec, and Ed Harrington, everyone. Anyway, 4 hours into their flight, they disappeared off the radar. Bloop! Gone. And when they reappeared, they were crashed somewhere in the middle of the Mojave Desert, where it's even warmer than 90 degrees, I bet. Maybe, I don't know. However, the pilots blacked out the entire thing, so they don't remember anything that happened. They were then taken to the nearest military hospital, where they recovered just fine with minor injuries. The biggest deal being that one of them broke a leg. So they got off pretty lucky there, right? Only no, because apparently their ship must have traveled through a pocket of space controlled by the Twilight Zone. Because one by one, they're about to be pulled out of this reality. And
Erase from existence.
which is why Rod Taylor here looks so fidgety. He knows it's happening and can't do a thing about it or even convince anybody it's happening, as he stands outside his hospital room, since he was discharged yesterday along with Ed Harrington, since they were both perfectly fine. Unlike Garth Williams, who got the broken leg and is still here recovering, all by his lonesome. So Rod Taylor, Clegg Forbes, that's who he's playing, bust right in to visit his friend to try to convince him that Ed Harrington was
Erase from existence.
So this is Garth Williams, ad agency exec. Yeah, this character's name is actually William Gart, but backwards, that's Gart Williams, which was actually another character from another Rod Serling written Twilight Zone episode, A Stop at Willoughby. Only the first and last name are reversed. Weird. Got a little lazy with that one, Rod. He's being played by actor Jim Hutton, the father of Timothy Hutton. Jim Hutton sadly died of liver cancer at the age of 45.
Are you serious?
I personally mostly remember him as the character of Peterson from the John Wayne war film, The Green Berets, if you've ever seen that. And his tragic, gruesome death scene. Was my pizza son brave? I guess. So anyway, back to the show. Still in about to panic mode, Rod Taylor lights up a cigarette and tries to explain his dilemma, even though it sounds like he's out of his mind. He tries to convince Gart that when he left here yesterday, in this very room, he left with a guy named Ed Harrington. Only Gart has no memory of a guy named Ed Harrington.
Nobody was with you.
So Forbes shows him this newspaper headline, all about their crash landing in the Mojave Desert, and asks him to read it. And yup, even this newspaper headline verifies that Ed Harrington doesn't exist, because now only 2 men were on that flight. So what the hell? No wonder he's on edge. He knows there was a man named Ed Harrington with them, and tries to convince Gart that he's real, because he was there too.
There were 3 of us in that aircraft. Harrington.
Only nothing.
Ed Harrington.
Gart doesn't remember Ed Harrington.
I don't know anybody named Harrington.
You made him up, Rod Taylor, Clegg Forbes, and have no proof of his existence. So what is going on, Crispin? If this guy Gart, who knew Ed Harrington for years according to Forbes,
I've known him for 15 years and you've known him for 5.
now has no memory of him ever existing,
Nobody named Harrington, nobody else at all.
then Rod Taylor must be going crazy, right?
It would seem that way.
Only he knows he's not. He knew Ed Harrington for even longer than Gart Williams did. So he tells him in full detail exactly what he and Ed Harrington did after they left this hospital room yesterday,
Let me describe to you what I remember.
just to prevent Gart from calling in the doctors to check his head out. In a story that's so long that it sends us into a full-on flashback. Just like in the Time Machine with Rod Taylor. Must be a Rod Taylor staple in his contract. I won't do it unless my character gets to tell the bulk of the story in flashback form. So he does, as we dissolve to yesterday. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Everyone knew who the fuck Ed Harrington was. Oh, I believe in Ed Harrington. In the very same hospital room with Ed Harrington, everybody! I feel like I've known you for years, old chum. I love your name, by the way. What a friggin' cool name, Ed. That Harrington shit can go to hell, but Ed, great name. And here he is, real and existing only a day ago, according to Rod Taylor's character of Clegg Forbes anyway. And they're all laughing and having a real swell time too. Clearly they're good buddies who've all worked together for years. Only they're about to leave because they're totally fine from that crash in the desert. Unlike Peterson here with his broken leg that he got in a crash with 2, not 1 other guy. Boy, he got off a lot luckier in this one than he did Green Berets. Maybe kinda sorta. As this current headline reads, 3 men, not 2. Even the paper agreed. Back then, when Ed Harrington was still the talk of the town. I love this pic of them, by the way. Aren't they a wacky bunch? I bet they're a handful. They're the wackiest crew in space. And When the Sky Was Open, tonight, premiering on NBC.
Get lost, who needs you?
Get lost, who needs ya? Good-natured buddy riffing of the late 1950s. So Forbes and Ed Harrington take off. and leave Garth Williams all alone in his TV-less hospital room of 1959. Hope he has a deck of cards or something.
Well, there's that newspaper.
Good friggin' point, Crispin. Thanks for pointing that out. He could read the funny pages. So cut to this local bar, where they pop in for a drink, where the bartender recognizes them from the paper and lets them have their drinks for free.
But your money's no good here. The drinks are in the house. I don't even care that you cracked up the ship.
Chill out, buddy. They're just astronauts. Bet you're not that nice to Major Nelson when he comes in here with Jeannie.
And I'm a taxpayer.
So they sit next to this bar chick with the boobs, who asks Forbes,
What's it like up there in outer space?
what it's like way out there in space, and his response,
It's like way out.
okay, that's all you got, Rod Taylor? I thought you were a swinger with the ladies. Well, you're not getting laid on that line. Well, it's way out. Can I touch your boobies? I kid. Right, Crispin?
You're a perv.
That's what you want. You don't go to a bar with your boobs hanging out like that, not expecting Rod Taylor to badly hit on you. I'd be just as nervous if I were a 29-year-old Rod Taylor, and probably way less lucky. Which he's not either, so. That's when Ed Harrington goes to light his cigarette, and this happens. Yeah, something suddenly came over him, and it ain't good. Like somebody just walked over my grave. It's eerie already, just from that look. Even Forbes notices this sudden change. But they go for a cheers anyway when it comes over him again and he drops his entire drink this time. And it smashes. This is getting serious, folks. Something is clearly wrong with Ed Harrington. So the bartender gives him another free drink. You're an astronaut, buddy.
Well, that's okay. That ain't the last glass of beer in the place.
You can have as many free drinks as you want, but not Major Healy. Fuck him. If I see Major Healy in this bar again, I'm calling fucking cops. This is Ed Harrington. He can have anything he wants. Ed Harrington. The great Major Ed Harrington of the U.S. Space Corps. So now concerned, Forbes asks him, what the heck is wrong, Ed Harrington, old buddy, old pal? So Ed Harrington tries to explain this strange feeling that suddenly came over him.
It's like I didn't belong here. Like if I was to let myself go, like I'd disappear.
Mind blown. Crazy shit. I know what he feels like. It's like having a spiritual awakening when you're walking down the driveway one day. Everything is suddenly different. Nothing makes any sense. I'm with you, Ed Harrington. Uh-oh, does this mean I'm gonna disappear too?
Uh-oh. Guess it's my show now. Ed Harrington.
Ah, just kidding. I ain't gonna let you steal my show that easily. Anyway, back to the show. Because it's about to get a whole lot worse for poor old Ed Harrington. So now paranoid that he's starting to not exist, he heads over to the payphone to call his parents in Iowa.
Des Moines, Iowa.
The Kinsellas. He changed his name when he joined the Space Corps to Harrington. So after the phone call, he calls Forbes to get the hell over here real quick.
Clay.
Something fucked up just happened to him. So he called his mom, and she claimed to not have a son named Ed Harrington.
And she said she didn't have any son named Ed Harrington.
Even his dad got on the phone to verify this. He has no son.
He said he didn't have any son at all.
Ain't no Ed Harrington, never was. So what the hell? That is weird. Was it some kind of twisted old people joke?
I don't know, it's just a gag maybe.
Only no again. Ed Harrington knows that it has something to do with this strange feeling that he isn't supposed to be here.
And none of us should be here.
None of them should be. Apparently.
We shouldn't have come back from that flight at all.
Man, now you're starting to scare me, Ed Harrington. I'm starting to believe you. So, seeing that Ed Harrington is about to lose it, Forbes goes over to the bartender to get some help. And on the walk over, he spots that newspaper headline again on a nearby table, and uh-oh. Now it says there were only 2 men on that flight, Forbes and Peterson. I mean, Garth Williams. So what the fuck, right? Where the hell is Ed Harrington? NASA's greatest achievement. So, just as baffled as we are, turns around and goes right back to that phone booth with Ed Harrington inside of it. Only, he's fucking gone. Vanished. Disappeared.
Erase from existence.
You're in the Twilight Zone now, bitches! Yeah! So, a freaked out Forbes runs back to the bar with Boobs McGraw and sees that Ed Harrington's replacement drink is missing. So he asks the bartender about that.
Where's my buddy's drink?
Just as he looks down at the smashed one on the floor and it's gone. Fucking vanished.
Erase from existence.
Yeah, there's no way they cleaned it up and dried it that fast. Come on. The bartender then claims that Forbes came in here alone
I don't know what you mean, Colonel. You came in here alone.
and doesn't recall his buddy, Ed Harrington, who he totally knew 2 seconds ago.
What are you, a wise guy or something?
So Forbes loses it, naturally, and calls everyone in the place crazy. The bartender,
You're crazy!
Madam Boobington,
You're crazy!
this fucker,
You're crazy!
the empty phone booth that swallowed up Ed Harrington,
You're crazy!
everybody. So cut to a commercial from 1959. Buy cigarettes. They're healthy for you. Doctors agree. Cigarettes have vitamin C in them. They have, what else is good for you? Crispin, what's in cigarettes that's good? I mean, we already know everything in cigarettes is good for you. Name something else in cigarettes that's good, Crispin.
Joy?
Joy. I guess the joints. Back to the show. Don't smoke. It's actually stupid. And we're back, folks. As Forbes, who's made it to his apartment now, tries to keep his shit together. By smoking like a chimney, of course. You didn't listen to me, did you, Rod Taylor? I said don't smoke. I was kidding. Your name's Rod. Rod Serling's name is Rod. I guess guys named Rod back in the 50s. Oh wait, everybody in the 50s smoked. So that's when his girlfriend Amy shows up and starts rattling on. All about what an a-hole Rod Taylor was for leaving her at the bus station.
Well, I was there at 12, and I was there at 1, and I was still there at 2.
Where he was supposed to meet her, I guess. He was too busy hitting on Madam Boobington at the bar. Only shut up, bitch. Rod Taylor is losing his mind.
Amy, please!
Which is when he realizes that the telegram that he sent Amy
It was in the telegram!
mentioned none other than Ed Harrington.
I wrote down Ed and I.
So he grabs that telegram and reads her the proof that Ed Harrington is real. And
See, I'm getting out at 9.
nope, even that never happened now. Boy, when the Twilight Zone wants to swallow up a guy and erase him from existence, it goes all out. Fuck you, Ed Harrington. We never needed ya. Forbes then swears up and down, in crazy mode, that he said Ed and I.
I wrote down that Ed and I were leaving the hospital. I wrote down that Ed and I were...
And Amy's response?
Who's Ed?
Yeah, who the hell's Ed? That talking horse? So that's just great. Her too.
I don't know any Ed.
She doesn't remember the Honorable Ed Harrington.
Who's Ed?
No one does.
You know him, Amy. Ed, you've met him 100 times.
Never heard of him. Stop saying his damn name.
Ed, we've been to dinner together. We've been to dances together. Ed, we've double dated Ed.
Don't know the guy. So now Forbes is starting to look truly nuts. And even more so after he calls his general to verify that Ed Harrington is indeed real.
General, it's about Ed Harrington. Ed Harrington, sir.
And
Ed Harrington! Ed Harrington! Why doesn't anybody remember?
nope! Ed Harrington!
Ed Harrington!
Ed Harrington! It's fucking
Calm down, buddy. There's no such guy as Ed Harrington. I don't remember him. Do you?
Ed Harrington! Ed Harrington! Crispin, how do you not remember Ed Harrington? We just saw him a few minutes ago. You fucking Ed Harrington.
Yeah, I remember. I was fucking kid.
Back to the show, I guess. The general's never heard of the guy either. So Forbes flips out and loses his mind again and goes into full crazy mode. starts to think that this is some kind of elaborate joke.
This is a gag. Highly complicated and fantastically conceived practical joke, isn't it?
Real elaborate, yeah. He then decides that Ed Harrington must still be at that bar that he vanished from in the first place, in the phone booth.
So he is, he's still at the bar, isn't he?
Of course. Sure. Why the hell not at this point? So Forbes runs the hell off like a nut to go see.
He's still at the bar!
So cut to that bar again, which is closed now. But Forbes bangs on the door anyway, demanding to see Ed Harrington. Like he owns the bar now. And when he gets no answer, he just jumps through the glass door, screaming for Ed Harrington.
Harrington!
Yeah, like a maniac.
Harrington!
Wow, there's your ringer, folks.
Harrington!
Way to go, Rod Taylor. Just jump through the glass door like a crazy person.
Harrington!
Crispin.
Harrington!
Only he's fine. No cuts or anything. When you survive a spaceship crash in the Mojave Desert, a glass door is nothing. Screaming the name Ed Harrington and jumping through a glass door at the same time make you invincible. It's still my favorite scene. And something the director actually told Rod Taylor to do. Jump through that door like a crazy person. We'll see that there's a little bonus in your paycheck, Mr. Taylor. Jump through the friggin' door. Screaming Harrington!
Harrington!
Great job. Great job. Great job. Great effect. The audience now knows that he has truly lost his mind as he stumbles through the bar, calling for Ed Harrington.
Harrington!
Even knocks these chairs down. Take that, you stupid bar. Swallow up Ed Harrington. So he gets to the phone booth where he vanished and falls into it in a finally lost his mind mode.
Please, Ed.
Which brings us up to speed, so end of flashback. And back to real time, where Forbes still sits with Garth, who still doesn't remember Ed Harrington.
I don't know Ed Harrington.
That whole story didn't jog his memory a bit. He suggested maybe Ed Harrington was an illusion.
I think he must be an illusion or something.
Only Forbes ain't buying that shit. He just jumped through a glass door for the man. He's way too invested in Ed Harrington at this point. The man was real and he knows it.
I know. He's been yanked out of here.
He was yanked out of here for some reason. And it has to do with whatever happened to them during that flight. They're not supposed to be here. And some force is trying to correct that.
Let us get through when we shouldn't have gotten through.
He's convinced that whatever took Ed Harrington is gonna come for them too.
Gotta come back to get us.
So,
This is weird. Just plain weird.
it's just plain weird.
Just plain weird.
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 And it's as if Forbes is almost enjoying this at this point. It feels good, kinda, knowing that this sort of power exists. And that at any moment you'll be yanked out of existence. A little terrifying. The unknown. And just like Ed Harrington, Forbes is starting to realize this now too.
Like I just don't belong.
That they don't belong here. As he wanders over to this mirror, looks into it, and realizes it's about to happen to him too.
Oh, I know.
Right now, actually. So he freaks the hell out again and bails out of there like a lunatic, screaming his head off. So Garth jumps after him, even though he has a broken leg. And just like that, he's friggin' gone too. Vanished. Disappeared.
Erase from existence.
So he calls the nurse over. Hey! This nurse, by the way, was in another Twilight Zone that I reviewed. From Agnes with Love. Actress Sue Randall. She played Wally Cox's love interest. And she also played Beaver Cleaver's teacher on Leave It to Beaver. But anyway, Garth begs her to go after Forbes, only...
Colonel Forbes!
She doesn't know who the hell you're talking about. So Garth points out his bed to her, and... fucking shit. It's gone too. Vanished. Disappeared.
Erase from existence.
Well, fuck. That's it for Rod Taylor, I guess. Well, at least he's with Ed Harrington now. Yay! I guess. Only not for poor Gart, because now he's in shock, because he's finally convinced Forbes wasn't crazy after all. That's when he takes a look at that newspaper headline again, and what do you know? It's changed again. Now Doc Brown's not getting committed. Kidding. Now it claims that space flight only had one damn passenger. This dope, Gart Williams, ad agency exec, 25-year-old Peterson manning his own spacecraft. Like he's Han friggin' Solo or something. Bullshit. All by himself. Only this is physical evidence for him now. And there's nothing even left in this reality to keep Gart's dumbass here anyway. So he just slowly accepts it and falls backwards into non-existence. Bye, Gart. We hardly knew ye anyway. So cut to Nurse Millie, as she claims to this guy that the room that Gart is in is actually totally empty.
It's empty.
And ready for use. See, it's totally empty now. Always was. No bed, no Gart, no newspaper headline, not a damn thing. It's all gone. Vanished, disappeared.
Erased from existence.
Well then, I guess that was all for naught.
Order some beds up.
Ordering some new beds. Hopefully they won't pop out of existence like the last ones did. So cut back to that spaceship, which is also gone. Vanished, disappeared.
Erased from existence, right?
Yeah, Crispin, but I like the way Doc Brown says it better. But you're still cute.
I know it.
Even the damn spaceship is gone. Well, that figures. So Rod Serling pops in with his closing statement.
They used to exist, but don't any longer.
Which is pretty much, they used to exist, and now they don't. Why? Who knows? You decide.
They are no longer a part of the memory of man.
Erased from man's memory. Only they went somewhere in the Twilight Zone.
Speak softly of them, and only in the Twilight Zone.
But yeah, speak softly, or those same forces will yank your ass out of existence too.
Ed Harrington.
Oh no, they yanked Crispin out of existence. You dumbass number 7. Wait, there was never a number 7. There was only 6 Crispins. I'm crazy. I guess I forgot to bring a Crispin.
I'm down here, asshole.
Anyway, that's it, folks. That was And When the Sky Was Open, which leads me into my final thoughts on this fine episode. It was written by the man himself again, Rod Serling, and based on a short story by one of his few equals, Richard Matheson. I enjoyed every performance in this episode. It was the acting that sold the idea so well. Rod Taylor's character slowly losing his mind was very intense.
Ed Harrington!
And I do enjoy actor Rod Taylor.
You're crazy!
He was also the voice of Pongo in 101 Dalmatians. Something I just found out actually. Never knew that. I also remember him from this very underrated western where he played the villain called The Deadly Trackers. Something I would love to review someday. He was also in this movie 36 Hours with James Garner, another underrated movie. That would also be a good one to review someday. Who knows? Then, I don't know. Welcome to Whoop Whoop, that episode of Pacific Blue, only on USA. Yeah, Rod Taylor did an episode of Pacific Blue. It's one of the last things he did, but made up for it years later by appearing in Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds as Winston Churchill. Yeah. And the final thing I'll mention is actor Charles Aidman, who played Ed Harrington. He would appear on The Twilight Zone again in Little Girl Lost as the friend that you call when something supernatural happens. We all have one. Am I right? Charles Aidman would also go on to narrate the first 2 seasons of the 80s Twilight Zone, and even appeared in the movie Inner Space before passing away in 1993. And with that, I'll end my look at what could possibly be the most eeriest episode of the Twilight Zone that I've ever seen, in my opinion, of course. And When the Sky Was Open, which in the end, we never do know why they were pulled out of existence in the first place. And where the hell did they go? You could theorize for hours, you could. Crispin, you want to go theorize for hours?
Sounds like a lark.
You would do that too. I love you for that, Crispin. So a big thanks once again to all of my subscribers and leavers of comments. Always appreciated as usual. Adios for now, folks, and I'll see you at the theater. Let's go, Crispin.
Whee! You didn't have to yank me like that.
You're 7. You're like the newest one. You'll be fine.